it's very difficult to say something meaningful at the conclusion after so many other speakers have already drawn their conclusion and we are at the very end. For me, just very few words. It's been a very busy 2 days. It feels like it was longer than 2 days because it was so packed with information and interaction. But I really feel we achieved what we wanted. So after the pandemic, we haven't met each other. We haven't actually had the team together in a long time. Sam and Francesca actually haven't met many of you before now in the flesh. So that was the priority, regenerating the team, reuniting the team, and that's also why we decided to go for a relatively small and cozy venue. We were really keen to do that. So I think we achieved that objective, and I'm quite pleased by it. So it's really hard to draw a conclusion, to summarize the many discussions that we had, the many messages. I would like just to focus on 3 points. The first one is the past, and Jean-Noël and Francesca eloquently described the many challenges that we face over the last 2 years, COVID, Brexit, the relocation, and so on and so forth. And if you look at it from the service component, I think we've done quite well. There has not been interruption on any of the services. Everything continued smoothly throughout. And this was a joint effort, really, between ourselves and all of you. So we really appreciated all the energy and the flexibility that you put in all these activities. And this also highlights this being together that I was mentioning. Is not ECMWF running the program, but it's not us. It's us as in the entire group of us that the success belonged to. So really, thank you very much for that. The second point is the present, and is linked to what I was saying in my introduction. This gathering together of the team, someone say, is like a bit of a family, the C3S family. I don't quite like that metaphor, because maybe I have teenage children myself, and I see how different parts of the families can go in different directions and different priorities. So a family can also be dysfunctional. I would like to suggest, not that mine necessarily is, but I would like to suggest a different image, and also because of my personal passion. I like sailing very much. I like the concept of a crew. In a crew, there are different roles, different responsibility. We are all on the same boat, which is also quite important. And we have a joint commitment, a joint goal, a joint exercise, and that's very much what I think we are doing. I also want to pick up the metaphor that Eduardo used in his talk about this acquired taste for chestnut. It's an acquired taste. You may not like it. But actually, one of my favorite cakes is made with chestnut, and it's the castagnaccio. So the castagnaccio is probably the simplest sort of cake you can imagine. It's with chestnut, pine kernel, raisin, water, and rosemary, and a bit of olive oil. It's really an acquired taste. But that kind of cake actually made a difference for many people living in the countryside and having to resist the winter for many months. So it's an acquired taste, but an acquired taste that actually makes a difference to people. And that's, I think, is a good metaphor for climate and for the role the climate and climate data has in society. So the third point is the future. And over the last few days, I think we cover the big highlight, so what the program will do in the next few years. And it's quite exciting. You know, ERA 6 that is coming up, the regional reanalysis, this pan-Arctic reanalysis, very exciting. The rethinking on the way in which we do ECVs, that's going to come in 2024. The CADS, new infrastructure, much more open, much more inclusive. The EQC and the work on the URDB and the user requirement. The climate atlas that we heard today. The thematic carbon energy. The verification of seasonal prediction. There is so much coming up, really, really exciting. So I think we have done well in the past. We have rejoined ourselves as a team, and I think we have really a great future in front of us. Also because, as it was highlighted by Francesca and by Sam, there is now a social priority, a political priority to deal with the climate crisis, and we have really a big role to play. So I won't take much more of your time, also because I'm in between you and the lunch somehow. So I'll keep it short. But I would like to thank, first of all of you and all of us for having arrived to this point. I would like to thank the Dutch government and the local organizing committee for having us in the Netherlands for this wonderful venue. I would like to thank the staff of the Spanish court for feeding us and keeping us hydrated over these few days. I would like to thank you also for your singing. That was brilliant. The technical staff here for supporting us and advising us. Gopa for running the entire event. Our communication team, and in particular Francesca, for the really excellent work that she has done. And I would like to thank also the person that actually put together the program in the first place. So Andras Shorani took the responsibility, and this is great. Having a person that actually takes care of these things makes a huge difference to us. So I would like to thank him very much. Please join me in thanking all of them. But I would like to thank Andras also because he pushed us to be more sustainable with this GA, with the menu, with the way in which we reached the venue. Many of us came by train, but some of us, not many, but I think will be more next year, came by bike. And that's great, because I do think that tackling climate change requires good quality data, requires new policies, but also requires a change in the personal attitude, taking responsibility and changing our habits. And this is very hard. So any incentive, any support in that direction is very much appreciated. So I thank him also for that. And with this appeal to try to be greener and more sustainable, I thank you again, and I leave the floor back to Ali, who I would like really to thank very much for his amazing job. Again, it's one of these things that make all the difference between a successful event and a less successful one. So thank you, Ali.